Hello class, my name is Jordan Rosser and I am from group 3. Our restaurant name is The Old Sea Dog, and today I will be making the appetizer. My appetizer will be seared scallops over a sweet potato puree. Always gotta have a sharp knife so you don't hurt yourself. Start to peel our sweet potatoes. Not cooked or anything, just wash them off in some cold water. Gotta find my peeler. Peels pretty easily. Takes a little while though, so. Okay, so now that we have peeled both of our sweet potatoes, we're gonna chop them carefully into cubes. There's my knife. So, doesn't really matter, I'll just go down the center. Sweet potatoes are a little tough when they're raw, so you gotta be careful when you're cutting them. Always make sure you know how to use a knife. A little stir action. 1 clove of garlic. We're also going to add a little bit of this herb compound butter that I took from work because I couldn't get some of the fresh herbs that I wanted. I'm just going with this herb compound butter because I was going to use butter anyways, and it's got different kinds of herbs in it that I was going to use. Okay, now we got some white onion. I'm going to peel that up. I'm probably going to cry because I'm very sensitive. Ginger is a very interesting ingredient in cooking. You don't need a lot of it, and it looks really funny. There's some weird looking pieces of ginger I find at work. I learned also that it's easier to peel with a spoon instead of a peeler, and also my peeler is really messed up, so I'll just quickly peel this up. So now that we peeled the ginger a little bit, I'm just gonna zest a little bit off of it into my pot. There we go. We are making sweet potatoes. It was fall when I decided to make this dish, so it was kind of like fall inspired. Sweet potatoes, I'm gonna add a little sweetness to them. I'm gonna put some cinnamon in there, just a little bit. You don't need that much. And also some brown sugar, just a little pinch. And we're gonna mix that all up. And then we're gonna throw it onto the stove. We just wanna get the sweet potatoes nice and soft and get all the garlic and the ginger to start aromaing. That's a new word. Aromaizing. We just want these sweet potatoes to be soft enough so that we can just like mash them with a fork, you know? And then after that, we're going to add in our heavy cream, just enough to cover the outside, or cover everything that's in there fully, and then bring that to boil. So they've been cooking for a little while, and now we're gonna add the heavy cream. 1 second. Scoop that. There we go. Just enough to cover what's in the pot, of course. Now we're gonna take the broth out of the pot, and we're gonna strain it so that we just are left with sweet potatoes and some onion. Now we're gonna mix our sweet potato. You could show Emma. We're gonna throw some parsley in there. Give it some nice fresh taste. Pick out the stems though, because nobody likes the stems. Salt, pretty fine salt. Just throw a little bit of that in there. Don't need a lot. I prefer pink Himalayan salt, but that's what I got right now. A little bit of pepper, ground pepper. Also pretty thick, pretty coarse. And then we're just gonna blend all this together. I think it needs a little bit more salt. Add a little bit more. I want to start making the scallops now, but I don't want this to go cold, so I'll throw it right back in the pot. Kept that on low. 5 ounces of Barney Get Light scallops here, locally caught and delivered to the Old Causeway Steak and Oyster House. Shout out them. We're going to add some salt and pepper combination that we have over here. Just a little bit on each, one side. So I would normally do a rectangle plate and then make a nice presentation that way. So put a nice helping of that on there. Pat it down a little bit, spoon. Wow, that's really good. Chimichurri, just basically parsley, oil, basil, mint, and then blended with mayo to make the aioli, because aioli is just a fancy word for mayo. Not really great how I would want it to look, but hey, at home you gotta make do with what you got. Now the finishing touch, we'll garnish it with some parsley for freshness. You gotta get that high angle from the parsley. Show me. That's about how high you gotta parsley all your dishes. At work we call that from the rafters. Now we're gonna take a bite, but you gotta get the whole bite. So you gotta get some of the sauce, some of the sweet potato, some of the scallop. That's really good. This is probably the best dish I've ever made in my life, so I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I think that all of the customers at the old Sea Dog would absolutely return for this.